lights are still on, and the reason why, we still got light to shed on all things finance
Yes.
here in the segment of After Dark. Now, most times you hear a top 10 countdown, but this is something that we're truly passionate about. And yeah, we've had some laughs and jokes, but true financial freedom, your financial literacy, and moving forward with financing is no laughing matter.
Yeah.
So the way we came up with this one, after we closed out the show, we realized there was still a lot of meat left on the bones on this financial plate that we served to you tonight. So all things
Yeah.
considered, it's the Bald-Headed Barbershop After Dark, and we're going to shed some light, even more light, on financial freedom and all things financial.
Yes, sir. We wasn't done with y'all. That's pretty much what it come down to. But no, but again, I just think that this is such an important conversation. I'm looking forward to doing some more stuff with Bridget. Bridget, you need to call us back again. Let us come out. She said she was going to start doing that monthly.
Correct.
And just get out, man. And I would love being a part of just increasing financial dialogues among our community.
Well, the thing of it is, oftentimes we need someone, an ally, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known Bridget for many years. Bridget is truly a financial ally.
Yes,
for all your personal banking needs, check out Bridget Beasley at Valley Bank in Central Florida. And Bridget, that plug ain't gonna cost you a dime, my dear. I love you and thank you for your continued support.
I love Bridget,
of the Bald-Headed Barbershop.
Whatever she can do to help you, man, she go out her way to help a lot of people, man.
Speaking of out of your way, man, we were talking about retirement and how much you need to retire in the previous segment. One of the things we started talking about when we shut down was, what is your financial plan? I just told someone literally earlier today that eventually my goal is to live abroad.
You want to retire out of the country.
Retire out of the country.
You know, and again, kudos to everybody that's thinking out of the box. I mean, I know several people that have invested in properties abroad. I know one of my frat brothers actually moved to Ghana. You know,
shout out to Richard Moore, man.
Shout out to Rich Moore, you know. But so I don't have a problem with thinking outside of the box. I mean, for me, I don't ever see me leaving the United States for good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, I definitely can. I would love to be able to have, properties abroad where, I might go to for a couple of months at a time. But to just go there and live there permanently and then just kind of visit home every now and then, I haven't met a country I love like that yet. I tell you,
I know what you're about, and you read my mind. Go ahead.
The most beautiful place I've ever been to in my life. Where?
Go ahead.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Antigua.
That was it, but no, that wasn't what I was going to say.
Okay.
When I was in Germany, they used to do these little travel packages for the soldiers. And so, you just go to different places throughout Europe. And I took me and a few of us, we took a trip to, I don't even remember the town name, but it was in Spain, and it was on the Spanish Riviera. So it was like a beach town in Spain. Oh my goodness. Even as a 19-year-old, I could appreciate just how beautiful it was. You know what I mean? So I always told myself I could see me having a crib here. So I would love to do something like have a villa that I rent out, Airbnb, when I'm not there, just kind of offset costs a little bit, and then just be able to have it available when I want to go stay for however long. But I don't want to live in Spain, not permanently. You know what I'm saying? I believe America is the best country on earth, man. I've traveled abroad extensively, and I love my country. I don't want to leave it, but I definitely like traveling and seeing different cultures. So I don't think I'm gonna subscribe to living abroad as much as just kind of investing, having a property that I can kind of rent out offset costs, and then just enjoy it whenever I feel like it.
But there are some people who are inadequately prepared in their retirement years, and they might have to live somewhere else.
Yeah. Now that's true. Now I've heard, like, my brother went to he just recently went, him and his wife went on a vacation to Bali, and he came back telling me about, basically for, like, a income of like $1,000 a month in Bali, and you living like a king. I'm talking about nice house, people cooking for you.
Ohan, prepare the royal baggage.
So, I can see that. But again, that might be something I would definitely love to go, a month at a time. If I got I don't think I would, I haven't been to Bali, so I don't know if I would like it enough to actually own a property. That's my rule. If I own a property abroad, it has to be in a place where I enjoy visiting enough that
to stay there.
I would go there enough to make it, worth having all that extra overhead. Other than that, I could just rent a hotel for a week and be done.
Hotel Holiday Inn.
So it just comes to me, just kind of comes to traveling, seeing what's out there. But definitely, to retire in the United States with, all of the overhead that it comes with living here, I can see the attraction of going somewhere like that and, having your money just stretch further. But for me, it's about the culture, because that can go south too. I know crazy story. One of my homeboys, his dad had a buddy that went to the Dominican Republic and opened a I guess like a bed and breakfast type spot. So, we do our little annual boys trip. So we in the DR hanging out. His dad said, "Hey man, why y'all over there? Go holler at my homeboy." So we go holler at his homeboy. We get over there, we call him up. He got this bed and breakfast. We go over there to see what he talking about. We get there. And this dude is like, late 60s. He's an older gentleman, right? And I mean, I'm just looking from the outside looking in. I'm like, oh, this is the life. This fool living. He got this bed and breakfast. He got a staff of about 6 young Latin women who just seem to be eager to make sure their boss is pleasantly pleased with their efforts. And I'm like, okay, this is a pretty good look. Fast forward, about 3-4 years later, we on our boys trip again. We meet up with him. We get a, we call him, and things done went south, bro. This dude pulls up on the back of a moped with a dude driving. No, he hugging
Stop. Flag on the play.
I mean, 2 flags, bro. He pull up, he hugging the dude waist, the dude pulling up on the moped. I'm like, wait a minute. What happened to your staff? What happened to the 6 girls on your staff? But my point is, if I go to a country like that, one, I would not, what I learned from him, what not to do. You can't go to a country like that and have your finances dependent or tied to their economy. When we first met him, he used to do like these I forget what his field was, but he used to do like these talks. People used to pay him like, $2,500 to come do a 60-minute talk. And I guess that dried up. And now he's totally dependent on this bread and breakfast money from the DR, which
didn't go so well.
Didn't go so well, according to the moped driver, because he hugging that man like he really needed that ride.
I'll just walk if I got.
Yeah, bro. If I gotta call a moped and Enrique driving the moped, no sir, bro. Can I get a Spanish hoverboard? I'm gonna ride the hoverboard across town.
I just got a visual of you.
But hey, long as you ain't getting no visual of me on the back of a moped, I'm good with that. I'd rather you have rather you have a visual me on a hoverboard
Listen, dog.
than that fool
If
riding
I
up
see
hugging
you in the
Enrique.
if I see you in the DR with your arms around a dude's waist on the back of a moped, look at me. I want you to know the jokes will never end.
Bruh, I want you to know you need to snatch me off of that moped and drag me back to the United States, because clearly
Everything has gone south.
my abroad experiment has not gone well. But case in point though, bruh, it just takes planning.
It does.
It takes planning. I could see me doing something like Bali, but again, I'm gonna have to do it in spurts. I don't think I'll ever permanently live outside the United States. Now I've met a couple places. I think you was talking about when we were talking about Antigua.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
I went to Antigua on a business trip, met with the prime minister. They were doing partnerships where they were offering people dual citizenship. You didn't have to give up your U.S. citizenship, but if you invested a certain dollar amount in the island, started a business, they would give you citizenship. And that was a beautiful island. But even then, I wouldn't want to live there. I would be very happy going to visit for a few.
But there's no place. You're gonna
months.
be like Dorothy clicking your heels together.
Yeah,
there's no place like home.
Eventually, I got to come on back to the good old U.S. of A.
Now there are some countries within the continent of Africa that have incentives for people of African descent.
Yep.
To come home.
Come home. Yep.
They will give you X amount of land, or make it so the provision for you to come. It's so convenient, you just can't turn it down. They'll offer dual citizenship, and you just got to do your homework, your research to understand what might be the best move for you.
That's on my bucket list to go to Africa. I can't say that I'll knock it until I tried it, but just from my thinking right now, from where I'm sitting, I would love. That's on the top of my bucket list. I want to go all over the whole continent of Africa. I want to visit South Africa, West Africa, all the slave ports. I want to go visit, but I don't want to live there.
Now, bro, I'm gonna tell you, that's on my bucket list as well. But to go to those slave ports, I know for certain, no doubt, no question, no two ways about it, I know I'm gonna break down.
Oh, bro, I already know I'm done. Bro, I went to Atlanta to the Martin Luther King Museum and lost it. So, bro, I was with my teenage daughter. We went to Atlanta on our little summer trip. Bro,
you lost it, bro.
Bro, you've been to the King Museum in Atlanta before? The wagon, the actual wagon that they used in his funeral procession is there.
Man, what tripped me out?
I lost it, bro. I lost it, bro. Just to know the sacrifice that some of those people made for us to have the freedoms we got, and you just come face to face with it. It's have you ever been to the Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, Tennessee? At the Lorraine Motel?
Man, when I tell you, my mother made those provisions growing up. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. Speaking of finances,
your mama made provisions. My mama just made beanie weenies.
She made provisions for us to be able to travel and have experiences. One of which was going to the Lorraine Motel and seeing where Dr. King was shot. Another was the provision of going to the King Week celebration, the very first one they had back in 1988.
Wow.
So it tripped me out. His body is in a tomb on water.
Right.
And it tripped me out because I didn't understand. I think I was in the 8th grade. I didn't understand that running water wouldn't freeze, but around where his body was, it was frozen. And to me, that was quite poetic to see. It was his celebration around his body. It was frozen. That just blew me away.
Wow.
That completely
blew me at the Lorraine Motel is, if you haven't been there, you got to visit it. It's powerful. So they kept everything exactly where it was.
Even to the cars.
Right there on the balcony where he was shot at, they got the reef, but right underneath the balcony on the ground, you can look up and they got this big rock, and it has the Bible verse. I forget what it is, but behold, here comes the dreamer, and we shall slay him and see what becomes of his dream. Bruh, I lost it. And then you can go across the street. So the whole hotel is a museum, and then it goes underground across the street, and you can go up to the room where the guy who shot him was at, and you can look through
The guy
the
they say shot him.
right, the guy who said who well they say shot him, but you can go and you can look and you can see the view he saw. Bro, it just put it so
It
vividly.
made it where you were living in that.
Yeah. Oh my God, bro, I lost it, bro. I absolutely. I'm. I'm like my daughter, like, oh my
Here
God,
you go
Dad.
again.
She a teenager. She all embarrassed. Got little boys looking at her. I'm like, you just don't know.
I'm gonna keep embarrassing when the boys
Keep
come
on
around.
embarrassing. Yeah, but yeah, I love it, man. But again, leading back to retirement, that's to me what retirement is. You know what I'm saying? You get a chance to really enjoy your family. You get to, I sit here and I think about like our parents in their golden years. They done spent all of their lives just working and sacrificing for us. That in these golden years, you want to be able to just sit back, kick up your heels, and really just enjoy life with your family because
Right.
you don't get another a shot at it. And I think about my grandma. Oh my goodness, she worked so hard all her life, you know, and I don't feel like she got the flowers she should have got before she left. And I don't want that to be me. I want to be able to enjoy my family, and she did. She had a life of love. She had a family that loved her, but at the same time, she worked hard all her life. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't want that to be me. I don't want that to be my mom. I want that cycle to stop. I want us to be able to enjoy life on our terms. I want us to be able to take family trips. I want us to just be able to kick back and enjoy these blessings life got to give, you know what I'm saying? Instead of feeling like we always on the grind. And it just takes planning, man. It ain't impossible. It's not inevitable that you always got to spend your whole life working yourself to the bone. We just got to be smart. We got to make good decisions.
I believe that Bible verse was Genesis 37,
Yeah.
starting at verse 19.
Yep. 19 through
Well,
20.
well,
Behold, here comes the dreamer, and we shall slay him and see what becomes of his dream. Boy, and I just wish those people who thought they was stopping him could see what they was actually doing. He's much more present now, decades after he was gone, than then in terms of his impact, his the legacy he left. I'm just appreciative of it, man. But
recently we celebrated Dr. King's birthday, and I always look at it. I'm like you, eternally grateful for the struggle and sacrifice. This man gave his life for the struggle. But I think of Dr. King's birthday as the Civil Rights Day because without Dr. King, without Malcolm X, without Stokely Carmichael, without all of the
yeah,
true
heroes.
pioneers
Yeah.
of the civil rights era. Man, I was out in Oakland, California, and it was a bakery,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking on the walls, and I asked the lady, I said, "Excuse me, where did you find this wallpaper?" She says, "You're not from around here, huh?" I said, "No, ma'am." She said, "Where you from?" I told her, "Orlando. We don't have anything like this." She says, "You're standing in the first national headquarters of the Black Panther Party."
Ooh.
Dude, there was a feeling of pride, of almost invincible that I had at that moment that I had never experienced.
Yeah.
But where she showed me all of the things that you saw in the movies, where the first daycare, the senior living facility, all those things, and to be right there in the heart of it, it was simply amazing.
Yeah.
So,
You get like those spots where you just realize you standing in a historic
man,
spot. Like when I lived in DC for 3 years, just to go to some of those places, man. Like again, back to Africa, the point of no return.
man,
Who was it? I think it was Steve Harvey. He was doing some kind of documentary. He was just documenting his trip to what is that? Is that Senegal? Where is that point of no return? I forget which port. It's one of them slave ports. But
comes from the Gold Coast, from West Africa.
Right. I know it's the West Africa. That's the whole reason I want to do a tour of West Africa. I want to just tour those slave points. But is that what they call the point of no return? It was that little cubby hole they used to send the slaves through. When they went through that,
Right.
they loaded the boat, and that was it. They were basically gone. And brother, put yourself in that spot and just realize what went on there.
It was at that moment you were being stripped
Right.
of your culture, your education, your knowledge, everything that makes you you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, we kind of got off the subject of financial.
Well, we were supposed to be talking about finances.
But here's the thing. All these things that we're talking about doing, without the right financial planning, it won't be.
You can't enjoy it. You can't go to Africa with a couple dollars. You got that's a trip.
That's a trip.
It's a trip.
Take a little planning, a little sacrifice.
A little planning, a little sacrifice, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
so just to sum it all up, people, let's be smart. Let's be proactive. Let's be proactive with our plans, proactive with our strategic.
If I can interrupt you.
Yes, sir.
I would say be proactive and intentional.
Yes.
You
Purposeful.
cannot grin like a dog and wander aimlessly and expect your financial future to be prominent.
That is the truth.
You cannot, man. So
that is the truth, man. So yeah, man, I love this show, man. I definitely am looking forward to us doing it again with some professional financial people on board.
We're gonna bring KD out, man.
So yeah, definitely. Let's get KD on board. KD, come on, man. Let's have this conversation. Let's get these people some good information.
We didn't talk about the 401ks, Roth IRAs, any of those things. But you know what? Again, we're not licensed.
Right.
So we're gonna let those licensed professionals
we'll let KD elaborate on all of that.
He's licensed up in quite a few states, Florida being one of them. But as we part, I'll say this about your financial freedom. Piss poor preparation promotes piss poor performance. Piss poor performance promotes pain. For Paul Rivers, Sterling Stevenson, it's been sort of a different After Dark, but thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your continued support. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Wait, before we go. I forgot about my boy, Patrick Gray, Pat P. Gray.
Oh, boy, he gonna kill us. And that's my frat, too. I was supposed to definitely give Pat a shout out.
Forgive me, Pat. Forgive me, brother. Yeah. But they say, the Bible even says, the last shall be first. So they're going to remember your name last. And
Patrick
you'll be the first call they
Gray.
So again.
State Farm. Yeah, he'd be on. They need to get Jake from State Farm off the commercials. Put my boy Pat Gray on there. Just let him.
Pat's my boy, but Jake does well.
Home Auto.
Wait, no, it's a different company.
The best one was what's the commercial when the lady came down? She thought she caught her husband talking on the phone.
Who's that? Jake from State Farm.
Well, he sounds. She sounds her. Well, she's a guy. She's a guy.
Like a good neighbor.
Like a good neighbor.
Pat Gray is there. So once again, for Paul Rivers, Sterling Stevenson, man, y'all be easy. Thank you for your continued support and love.
Bro, they say, you know how they say your palms itching? That means you're gonna get some money.
You were just scratching your back, bro. That
but it's kind of connected. The back is connected to the shoulder connected to the forearm, and that's the palm. So essentially, it's the same thing. I think I'm about to be rich. Soon as this XRP hit.
That's eczema on your back itching, bro.
Soon as this crypto hit, brother, I'm about to be balling. And then all of that stuff I said about being smart with your money, I was just playing. I'm just playing. I'm
just waiting for him to end so I can end. I know you got some more.
But just a little bit.
Y'all be easy. Have a good one. I'm going to holler at y'all.
Peace.